He's famous, and I mean famous goaltenders school. That's where you learn to put yourself in the way of 6 ounces of frozen vulcanized rubber traveling at speeds in excess of 100 miles an hour. And that's just where the fun starts. At JD's famous goaltender school, you'll have more shots taken at you than Kurt Waldheim. You'll learn grace and poise. We'll hone your reflexes to pinpoint perfection. Still got it. Working with your teammates is so important that at JD's, we'll teach you how to get close to them in a very special way. And remember, at the famous goaltender school, we emphasize not just on the ice training, but off the ice as well. And I will personally instruct you on training habits and proper diet. That's JD's famous goaltender school, where you learn how to eat pucks and like it.
In hockey, the Stanley Cup Playoffs are the ultimate goal. It's the best against the best in pursuit of the game's most coveted prize. In search of the Stanley Cup, few teams have known more twists and turns than the Washington Capitals. In 1987, in the 7th game of their divisional semifinals, the Caps faced the Islanders, and all the omens pointed to an unusual evening. In this game, goaltending would be key. Bob Mason of Washington matched against Kelly Hrudey of New York. From the start, the Capitals took it to the Islanders, mounting a strong attack, while the Isles did their best to counter. But despite all the defensive heroics, goals were inevitable.
Bassett is stopped by Mason. Adams behind the net. Rubbed out by Diddick. Boyd chopped by Grant. Martin, a good move. Walks in front, a shot, and a goal!
Late in the second period, Washington led 2-1. But with time dwindling in the third, the Islanders rallied.
Across the line. Troche's in. He scored!
Brian Trochier's goal with less than 6 minutes left in regulation set the stage for a remarkable sequence of events. This game was in overtime.
You are entering a dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind. One goal is the difference between glory and oblivion in this, the OT zone.
Here's Thomas Jensen. Centers it to Bassett. Mason the save. Here's Smith to center. Winds. Fires. Hit the post. Oh, he hit the goal post. Left side pass for Bassett. He centers. Sutter's in alone. Mason the save.
One 20-minute overtime leads to another and another. Neither team gives way. That's the signpost up ahead, and this is the OT zone.
And now Deneen moves it ahead to center ice. Alan Kerr, a wrist shot, a sizzler, a save by Mason. Christian on right wing. To Bobby Gould, a wrist shot, glove save by Hrudey. Rebound, Miller a shot, he's denied. LaFontaine walks in around Smith, he fires, Mason the pad save, rebound shot. That's blocked, another drive, and Mason has caught the puck. Here's Gartner to chase it. Centers it. A shot by Christian is blocked by the pad of Rudy.
An incredible number of shots have been taken in a game which now goes into a fourth overtime. Finally, more than 6 hours after it began, the struggle ends.
At the point, Deneen takes it, walks in, behind the net, turns around and fires, and the shot blocked by Hatcher. LaFontaine drills a shot and a goal! On a deflection, the Islanders win the series and the game.
Respectfully submitted for your approval, the anguish of a defeated hockey club that stayed too long in an uncharted territory, known as the OT zone.
But for the Washington Capitals, 1988 brought a fresh chance at redemption. Once again, the Caps were in the 7th game of the divisional semifinal, this time against the Orange and Black of Philadelphia. Yet the Washington hopes seemed slim as the Flyers took a 3-0 lead in the second period. Still, the Caps were capable of a comeback.
Now Prop flips to the blue line, kept in by Hatcher, a slap shot and a goal!
The Caps did come back, tying the game late in the second period and then jumping out to a 4-3 lead early in the third. It seemed victory was at hand, but joy is sometimes only temporary in Stanley Cup hockey.
Here's Zezel leaning in to work the draw against Hunter. The puck comes back to Marsh, a shot, he scores! Marsh from the blue line, the game is tied.
Once again, the Washington Capitals are entering a dimension known as the OT zone. Yes, overtime, but finally with a different twist.
Craven to the blue line. Poke check by Murphy. Murphy starts the rush. He hits Hunter. He's in alone. A shot and a goal!
Submitted once more for your approval. Joy and redemption of a particular type. A type only found filed under Stanley Cup Playoffs in the compendium known as the OT zone.
Whether it's the regular season or playoffs, hockey is filled with the unusual. Sooner or later, the oddities are gonna get you.
Trouble on the ice takes many forms indeed, but when hobgoblins play, strange doings are often in store. Puckish spirits will make pucks vanish as they play their tricks galore.
It's in the skate of Salming. It got Lodge actually right in the net. Now there's the first. Call Ripley's. I've never seen that one.
Call Mr. Ripley if you will, but when sticks are crossed, all may be lost. Frightful forces are apt to surface at the goal, and these nasties can take a terrible toll. Speak the charms and have your say, but always beware of the ricochet. A goaltender's nightmare as he sleeps upon his cot. A blistering, unstoppable slap shot.
Up the middle comes Larson. Drives a long line and scores! From the red line at center ice. Reed Larson put it by Chevrier to make it 2-0 Boston, a 90-footer. Too bad it's not basketball. You could get 3 for that one, 90 feet.
In the category of unlikely goals, one of hockey's most unusual was also one of its greatest, as Philadelphia's Juan Hextall became the first NHL goaltender to shoot on goal and score. Flyers versus Bruins, December 8, 1987.
Hextall is so strong in clearing. Chops it, here he goes, bidding for one. Here's the clear, here it is, he scores! Hextall scored a goal on the empty net, and you can see that. He is so strong at it. Here he takes over, and he fires in the empty net.
It's sliding.